Next up, I'm here with Rafael Fassoni, and he is co-founder and CEO of Estonia Hub, who are creating ties between Latin America and Estonia. Rafael, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Nice. So please tell us about the work of Estonia Hub.
Sure. We started this company because we realized that Estonia has so much to offer that sometimes it's even complicated to navigate. So the work we do is to try to map out Estonia, understand the journey, the main stakeholders, and then connect them with the main institutions from Latin America. So then they can speed up the digital transformation by talking to the right players here in the country.
Okay, nice. So you're not just making introductions, though. It kind of goes further than that. You're actually really organizing whole trips as well, as I understand, and then once they come back, then working on the back end as well.
Exactly. The step-by-step we do is to first understand the reality, challenges, and desires from Latin American institutions, and then we connect and see and design the program that they should take in Estonia, for example, during 1 week. And then after this program, we actually manage the whole trip, the whole conversations, and we make sure that the post-delegation is also important. So then they bring back and replicate everything they saw here in Estonia.
Right, okay. So I can imagine it can seem quite daunting if you're down in Latin America trying to work with that, to think of what is this country in Estonia, all the way up in Europe, how do I make the contacts, how do I know I'm getting to the right person, and you're providing that intermediary service.
Exactly, and the way we started is talking to Brazilian institutions. That's where I'm originally from, and it's been going great. You know, we hosted around 200 people from Brazil already, and during the pandemic we hosted even more in a virtual format, and it was great because then they could have this high quality contact, the network, the content, and the inspiration. That's the most important part. For example, for non-technical leaders that they want to understand, okay, what's digital transformation all about? Or to overcome some resistance that they might have, you know, into undertaking this journey. So this is why this connection is pretty important.
Right, that physical connection of actually coming here, because okay, one of the tough parts of digital transformation is maybe the minister gets it, maybe the high level people get it, but they've got a lot of selling to do inside of their government and their citizens as well. And so by coming here, you can sort of really get it in the old brain very clearly about how they're going to be pitching that to their government and citizens.
Exactly. It's very transformational, it's immersive, and they're gonna try to look and feel and live like in Estonia. So we're gonna fully immerse them in a digital society, you know? So then when they come back, okay, what are the links, where should I start with, and so on. And one specific aspect that we do is like every Friday during the delegation week, every Friday we have an internal meeting in which we're trying to download their brains and everything they saw throughout the week. So then they can have some sort of a plan of action when they come back and still stay in touch. And this has been working great. As I said, we hosted many delegations, and after 3 years of this project, this model we've been doing, we are now seeing results. We're now seeing fruits bearing in terms of signing of digital cooperation agreements or even projects between both countries. And now we want to expand that to Latin America because we believe there's great potential. There's a lot of things that are being doing already. If you look at Mexico, Uruguay, Peru, Colombia, and other countries, but we see that there's much more that can be done.
Actually, walk us through, as best you can, a case study or an example of maybe one of the earlier ones. They came, they've had that time, because this doesn't happen quickly. They have to digest it, then they have to sort of get that buy-in. So give us one good example that you've got.
Okay, so there's definitely a couple good examples, I could say. There's one specific Brazilian state. So Brazil has 27 states or provinces. One of them, they pretty much replicated the whole services portal from Estonia.
Okay.
So they got rid of all the nitty-gritty, the name, secretary, and so on. Now it's totally geared towards the citizen. So they developed it again based on the Estonian model. And then there's another state that just launched a new portal also based on the Estonian model, and also related to the integration of services. There's one Brazilian state is implementing the X-Road, you know, it's the first Brazilian state, so for the interoperability. And there's even the fourth Brazilian state, they have their vision, which is becoming the Brazilian Estonia.
Okay.
Because they have a similar trajectory in terms of struggling with economic development in the past and developing a business environment and so on. So they have this vision. They're so inspired by Estonia that they're coming here. They're probably gonna have one representation office in Estonia, so then they can stay in closer touch.
It's very interesting, and very interesting that, I mean, we've got this country, 1 million people, 1.3 in Estonia here, and that's being replicated on Brazil has states, and the different countries don't have to implement it on a national level. They can implement it on a state-by-state level. So anyway, we need to move on. Rafael, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure. See you.
Thank you.